Alright, draft physics video. Trying a somewhat new technique. You see how this works. Anyway, so I thought I'd do some comments. Like hell. But anyway, so yeah, first off, Wolf Tracker Trail. I don't even know what that means. Let's see if it's the most recent comment. Yeah, I know. Should have done that ahead of time. Oh, we got a few more new ones here. Alright, so Harmsworth, yeah. Now that I have done my little Edison rant, I will, okay, well let me do the Edison one first. Edison was nothing more than a profiteer, I don't know about that, using ancient DC power technology. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense, right? I mean, Benjamin Franklin didn't do the electricity thing until pretty damn late. He had connections to powerful people and money that facilitated his quest to supply. Oh, you're talking about Edison. Okay, sorry. Supply power for profit, even though he could not improve on the science of electricity. Well, I mean, the AC generator is the DC generator, and you pooping on Edison is just retarded. I mean, the guy was obviously, quite brilliant. I mean, there was a ton of things there to be invented, and he put together a group of people that could do it. And yeah, maybe he wasn't the best employer in the world. Maybe he was friends with Ford. That makes him a bad guy. Lots of stupid things, but to say he wasn't smart is just stupid. He used fear and brutality against animals. Well, they were all animals sentenced to die, retard, to sell his flawed ideas. Well, again, they weren't flawed. There was a choice to be made, and they chose, in my opinion, the wrong choice. We could have nice, frankly, we could have been running DC power through train tracks instead of having high voltage lines, I mean, here especially, it's a big problem. He was a hack and is a despicable human being. You're an asshole. Now that I've done my little Edison rant, I will say that I like the way you think. Brilliant gravity field theory, in my opinion. Thanks. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't really care for your Edison commentary, but we'll let you stay for a little while. See how long you last. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, this whole Tesla was a lunatic. I mean, Edison was, 1,000 times more valuable to civilization than Tesla. All Tesla did was, I mean, it's not that it's a small innovation. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it was inevitable that they would figure out that magnetic fields surrounding the coil are a lot better than having one on one side and one on the other side. Yeah, that's right. Completing the circle would make a good idea. Anyway, you make me wish I knew more science, but you are making me lose sleep, lol, so well done. Okay, good enough. Wolf Tracker, here we go. You are an idiot. Well, frankly, that is just too useless a comment. I mean, you've got to do better than that, or you can go fuck yourself. Oh, that's on the, I think that's on the what the hell's his name? Sorry, it's late, 3 o'clock in the morning. The Wheeler guy, Ken. Yeah, his latest video, he's concerned that the government's calling him because of his magnetism book. And, no doubt they want to kill him because he has this super incredible hyperboloid theory that, is going to change the world. Don't think so. I thought that how atoms' electrons were in respect to each other, electrons in neighboring... Oh, this is not written well. I thought that how the atom's electrons were in respect to each other, electrons in neighboring atoms in magnetic material has already been known for a long time. That is just too horrible. Well, guess what, fuckhead? Einstein wouldn't have been looking for a unification theory his whole fucking life. It wasn't any value. People wouldn't have talked about it all the time, especially when I was a kid, if it didn't mean anything, shithead. So obviously they don't know what the fuck's going on. And they certainly can't explain the interaction between electrons and protons, as I have detailed in a sense. So fuck you. Alright, man, you are trying to force parroted physics. I mean, who am I parroting, you lunatic? Just amazing. Man, you are trying to force parroted physics into your thinking instead of thinking and being a discoverer. Who am I parroting, Dale, you kooky fuck? Oh, God. I mean, just an insane comment. I mean, it's an insane comment. Where on the internet? Go find it. Go find particle gravity. Okay, since 300-year-old theory. Show me the new theory since 300 years ago. And show me where somebody has connected photonic polarization to the function of the strong force, the strong nuclear force, and the weak force, and magnetism. Go ahead, show me, asshole. How are you coming to your conclusions in motion, and how you consider the environmental forces as a secondary force? How could somebody write something so poorly? That's a question? How are you coming to your conclusions in motion, and how you consider the environmental forces as a secondary force? What the fuck could that possibly mean to a rational human being? This makes sense if you are on crack and insist it makes sense. Yeah, you're too fucking stupid, so yes, we're just going to bother. We'll go ahead and hide your comments, Dale. What could that possibly mean? Alright, good job. Well, that's here. Oh, another Dale comment. Pooh. They do have orientation once they are attracted to the opposite field. Whatever that means, fine. They will assemble as unit. They, meaning the electrons, as unit. No, they'll assemble based on the field that's around them. That's true. But they're not really a unit, because they don't like each other, jackass. Then there is a slot for only one component, and that would be the neutrino pair. Well, neutrinos are bullshit. Only a neutrino will attract because of a change requirement to create equilibrium. Well, says you with nothing. Okay, I don't see your pictures. I don't see anything linked here. You people constantly confuse, oh, the simplicity. Here we go again, another Ken Wheeler guy, no doubt. You people consistently confuse the simplicity, or the simplerosity, of the construct of the atom. This isn't a sentence either, idiot. You people, you really are this fucking stupid. You write this inarticulately, and then you'll sit there and critique somebody else. You people consistently confuse the simplicity of the construct of the atom. It's not a proper sentence. Forget the terms quantum. Yeah, guess what? I'm not a big fan of it. Your speed aspect is created only by repulsion of the changes. What the fuck could that mean to anybody? Repulsion of the changes. Gee, that's just so amazingly detailed and explanatory. Just slow your motion down to see what's going on. What are you talking about? All this explanation is senseless. This comment was senseless. You are a fucking jackass of a retard. Well, I'm glad I documented your retardedness anyway for posterity. Alright, I can tell you one thing. You would never be able to argue with him on his channel because he doesn't allow it. Yes, that's right. Ken's a jackass. Are you talking about me, John? Oh, look at all these comments on one video. Gee, you ought to know that this ain't going to get you anywhere with me. Why does Ken think that Eric Dullard is one of the greatest geniuses? I don't know, because he's an idiot. Why are you asking questions in a comment section? What do you think counter space is supposed to be? Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. There's no such thing. Space is the empty. You can't really have the counter to the empty is the full of space. So I guess that's ether. So if you want an answer, counter space would be the ether. He also thinks that gravity is incoherent magnetic field. Well, he thinks a lot of crazy shit. I believe that could be disproved, but what seems funny to me, I mean, what does incoherent magnetic field even mean? The whole point is I'm giving you a description of what the field is fucking made out of. It's a real thing, the field. It's not some magical magic. It's not some kind of vaporous ESP. It's physics, for fuck's sake. I'm giving you physics, and you jackasses are talking about this lunatic who believes in everything's just mushy perturbations in a goddamn ether of goo. I believe that could be disproved, but that seems funny to me. But what seems funny to me is that incoherent magnetism seems like no magnetism. Well, again, incoherent magnetism doesn't mean anything. It doesn't say anything. Coherent magnetism doesn't say anything. Friendly magnetism doesn't say anything. Gooey magnetism doesn't say anything. These fucking words people are shoving together don't say anything, which would make his statement both true and false at the same time. Well, I guess we can leave that one. Don't post all these comments on one video, especially when you're not saying anything all that fucking magical. In regular science, the light waves replicate themselves via electric fields setting up the next magnetic field. Well, again, replicate themselves is just crap, okay? That's not proper thermodynamics. That's not conservation of energy. Nothing can replicate itself. It has to transmit energy somewhere, and then that other place ends up becoming energetic, and it transmits energy back to the other thing. It's called induction. So this would make a hell of a lot more sense if you said light waves, which they're not waves, induce via an electric field another magnetic field in a conductor. Jeez. Therefore, there is no need for ether. True enough. But, I mean, talking about waves and all this other bullshit, you're not getting anywhere either. Okay. Well, the point is Ken is a big fucking fat pussy. Big fat pussy. Because he talks all this big talk that he's won every debate he's ever done, and he's the king of the subject, nobody can outdo him, and he's just too great, and he's too fantastic, and then, yes, he has absolutely no balls to man up. When you ask him for the debate, he just mocks you and says, no, you're beneath me, because the CIA isn't trying to kill you. Here CIA comes up here. I think this is CIA trickery at its finest. I think Inmendum is a sleeper agent of disinfo as per the socio-cultural depopulation agenda operatum. Well, I guess that's supposed to be some kind of fucking joke. Ha 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 ha. It sucked. Alright, so this guy got... the superior mind took care of his comments, so I don't even know if I need to well, I'll read it. The largest problem with your hypothesis is that it's all a complex interpretation. No, it's a simple interpretation, you dumb fuck. There's one force. It moves the speed of light. It has consistent mass. It's indestructible. And it comes in two polarizations. Now, how the fuck could you get simpler in terms of a diagram of everything in the goddamn fucking universe? Those simple properties, speed of light, polarization, two polarizations, okay, and the fact that, with the two polarizations it does the X thing, where you can see the reflection. And that's all it is. It's perpendicular reflections that cause all the confusion in the universe. You're even admitted there isn't any new math or formulas. I didn't say that. What I said was I don't need to create new math for the gravity anyway, because yes, the function of it's fairly simple. It's a diagram. Now, where there will be new math is certainly all this quantum crap where they make up crap every 15 seconds to fix their formulas. So yes, I'll be fixing. There won't be any Huygens. There won't be any fucking Huygens screwing up the experiments. And there's certainly no entanglement nonsense that can be crafted to do anything meaningful. Well, again, says you. So you're saying there's nothing meaningful in Einstein's pursuit of a unification theory. It's just totally useless to unify gravity, the nuclear forces, and magnetism and electricity. Total waste of time. Fuck you so damn hard till fucking dead, you fucking cunt. I mean, Jesus, you fucking asshole. Who the fuck are you? Do you have any kind of credential? Who the fuck are you to sit there and dismiss my 5 years of work to demonstrate that all the biggest, fattest heads in the world are exactly that, big, fat heads? This is actually your downfall. No, fuck you. This is your downfall, Larry Z. Johns. I will have people pissing on your grave, as you've made a claim that is extremely infallible, and you won't be proving it in any way, and impervious to any sort of empiricism and skepticism. How so? How is it? You basically document that the whole universe functions on a basic principle of stuff moving the speed of light, that stuff's indestructible, and that it's polarized. And you're saying there's something where I've just created a God theory? Now, I think that would be pretty provable if I'm wrong. The point is it fits everything. It fits electricity. It fits gravity. It fits the nuclear reaction. The fact of the matter is it's the fucking truth, asshole, and I'm going to bury you under it. The dynamics of your particle universe mechanics can also never be proven. Well, of course they can. All I have to do is point. So as soon as, look, if I get a laser beam that's fine enough point, I can prove it tomorrow, because I'll demonstrate to you that if I aim the photons at the two slit, I get the same fucking pattern, and I break Heisenberg, because I'll know exactly where the photons went, and I know exactly where they hit, and I'll know exactly where they went, and so therefore Heisenberg goes right down the fucking toilet where it belongs. Especially, the whole trick is they keep thinking you have to measure a photon to know where it goes. No, you can know where it goes because it actually goes there each time you turn the laser on. It points right at it. So all I need is a fine enough beamed laser, aim the photons, and the whole thing is over. Especially with the context you've given us, whatever that means. The fact that you've admitted that it is a reinterpretation, well, I don't know, I've never said that. With no math, it doesn't have no math. It has fucking inverse fucking square rules and stuff. The same fucking things Newton found. Yeah, I can't undo the truth. There are some actual facts that physics has gleaned, and those facts are consistent with my theory. Jackass is what will keep practicing physicists such as myself. You lying scum. Fuck you. No way you could be a practicing physicist and talk this shit from even touching it in a meaningful way. I dare you. Out yourself, pussy. Stick to philosophy and forget physics and circumcision. Yeah, well, you're retarded and you're a liar. Okay? I don't buy it. Prove it, jackass. Prove it. You're no physicist, Larry. Not even close. What's your fucking channel look like? It's gotta have just plain shit all over it. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, right. You're practicing physics, and you don't even have enough interest in physics to post links to physics videos or anything. Yeah, bullshit, liar. Okay, so Superior Mind commented, and he says, you still don't get it. It's based on current math, but it's his claim on what the math is. No, look, the model is what physics has lacked, you jackass. All it's had is stupid engineered mathematics, including things like Huygens and dark matter. Engineered mathematics instead of a rational model. You've got black holes that speculate on the existence of compressed matter, not minorly compressed matter, but matter so compressed we have never found anything close to matter that compressed. They wonder what holds the nucleuses of atoms together because the protons are too close to each other. Well, the compressed matter that black holes is based on is 1,000,000 times more compressed than that. Most researchers, including myself, feel that even the discoverers, Einstein and all who made the initial research papers, well, again, Einstein didn't add much to the math. It's a tiny, 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 tiny addition. Yes, it's all this space-time crap, but the bottom line is it only subtly changes the equation, and the only thing it's based on is the fact that Einstein is accounting for the sun's precession. all supports wave theory. No, it doesn't. There's nothing about Einstein supporting wave theory, you jack. See, there's no way you're a physicist. Because you would know that Einstein really wasn't a big fan of waves, asshole. He was a particle guy. And entanglement phenomenon. And he certainly didn't believe in entanglement. So why are you bringing up Einstein? You obviously don't know shit about physics. I mean, Einstein protested in spooky action, jackass. The math does not describe what you say it is. Well, what do I say the math describes in the two-slit experiment? The math describes a Huygens principle that you only apply in one experiment. That doesn't sound like much of a principle, douchebag. By default, your negation requires something substantially different to rectify it. Well, whatever that means. QM experiments have been tested and applied in many labs. There have been successful strides in teleportation. What are you, fucking nuts? Of unique electrons in vacuum environments. That is such a pile of shit. I did my thesis on quantum computing. Well, yes, then you're really a super loser because you're never going to have a quantum computer, douchebag. There's no such thing as a qubit. There's no shortcuts, shithead. You actually have to find the answer. You can't just get to the answer. You can't wormhole your way to the answer. The application of QM in transistors. I don't even want you to bring up something like that. I mean, you're just such a fraud. I mean, transistors is 60-year-old technology, for fuck's sake. I am currently working on QM applications in what? Metamaterials. Well, isn't that super? But you're a fucking liar. So, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Alright. Little blue bear asshole. I think you're awesome. I also think it's the same evil crap that's been going on since the beginning of man. Whoever has the power writes the books. Oh, just like 9/11. Oh, well, just fuck you. Too stupid. Oh, he believes in God. I saw that. I like this guy. Fat tattooed guy is a scam artist. Well, I don't care. Fuck you. You know, it's an agreeable comment. I mean, truthers can just die so hard. Truthers are the biggest idiots on this planet. All these truther shitters, these Trumpies, these fucking Alex Jonesies. You people are the blight of the human race. Let's see, when we do a live show, yeah, I should be doing one soon. I'm working on this Android-y shit, and I want to try to do something, and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, busy. Where is the fucking gold? I can create a video explaining a lot of crap, but at the end, if no one shows results... what do you want as a result, you dumb shit? Oh, the fact that the same theory, the same model works for... gravity and, what's holding atoms together and magnetism and electricity. Oh, you mean they have a model that actually does all of those things? All is bullshit at the end. Well, I don't know. You got to write better sentences also, douchebag. Alright, weren't you in Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill? Not really. I think you're legend, mate. Well, fuck you. They just type comments and then, oh yeah, no, I'll change my mind now. Well, fuck you. It's just I'm so sick of these. You're all so fucking goddamn funny, huh? I wish there was a comedy club for you people, just so I could go there and heckle the fuck out of you cunts. Particle theory is bullshit. Oh, sure it is. I don't even need to watch Ken Wheeler's videos to know that. Well, you ought to watch them just because you ought to see what kind of crackpots are on your side, dopey. Earth's not a globe either. Get over it. Oh, too clever. Well, I think we'll just block the flat earthers. Hide, yes, we just hide the flat earthers. Light bulb goes out behind you. Yes, the light bulb is... You people are just so easily entertained. I'm talking nuclear physics. And, these assholes can't figure out what a fucking motion sensor is. I would think that each pole is pulling on the fields of each other. Well, what is the fields of each other? See, this is where everybody is just so full of shit. What do you think? There's a magical force that just says, I love you. And the other thing says, oh yeah, I love you too. And so they just run together, with the magical legs. You people, it's called physics, and you're not requiring it to have anything physical. You're just sitting there saying, I don't need the physics to be physical. It can be all ESP and all kind of magical. Yeah, that's a religion, assholes. Because if you cut the magnet at dead center of its side between the two poles, it will make two magnets. It'll do that all the way down, jackass, because all the magnets have to line up north, south, north, south, north, south, north, south, you dumb shit. They don't like each other if they're put the same pole to the same pole. So obviously if you cut them in half, you'll just have two smaller magnets. I believe that you are right about the way you are looking at the whole subject. It just sounds like you were saying on the one part that the two hypothetical halves of the magnet, if suddenly cut, would want to fly apart from each other because they are pushing each other's pole fields away from the center of the hypothetical cut. Well, I haven't thought about it, but the hypothetical cut is going to be on their attractive end, so hypothetically, yes, they're going to pull towards each other, not away from each other. I am thinking they are pulling each other's pole fields towards the center line, because if the magnet is cut in two pieces, it will show that it's, yes, you can just think of the magnet if it wasn't made of a it's like ferrofluid. You know, if you took the magnet and made it into something much less dense, then you could just pull pieces off and they'd all be magnetic, you know. So, I mean, they're all little magnets. It's like the field lines, when they put the iron around the magnet, all those little pieces of iron end up magnetizing. That's why they're just lining up like little compasses, because they all become magnetic. So it's there. You have to think of them as little magnets, and that the way they line up is because they're little magnets, and they have to line up with each other north south north south north south, or they won't stick to each other. Okay, well, I guess we can leave that comment, but it really is stupid. I can care less about how you or any other person unwilling to invite the possibility of being wrong. I don't even, you know, so it's another guy with the Ken Wheeler thing. Ken Wheeler's the outrageous, pompous asshole who thinks he's smarter than every single human in the history of humanity, and his theory is it's a hyperborealoid perpetrating through the non-counter space. That's not a fucking explanation of anything. Why belittle other people on their videos while you're unable to understand? Go watch a Ken video. His response video to me was to sit in his car and laugh, you asshole. Blind to the root meaning of it. I have saying, you know, well, you're going to get so fucking blocked. It's just outrageous that you would accuse somebody else of these crimes when Ken Wheeler is the biggest abuser ever. You're just such a weasel of a sycophant cunt. You must be a sock account of Ken himself. All these people with absolutely no credentials. None. Salt, asshole, no doubt. Gary, have you heard of Jim Murray? Oh, yeah, this one. He and his team... Alright, okay, Jim Murray is dead, I found out, which is hilarious, because he's got a Patreon page, GoFundMe page. Okay, so it's GoFundMe for the dead guy. Died a year ago. He and his team have made some remarkable discoveries. No, they're not at all remarkable. There are some videos explaining it on YouTube. Maybe you could, and do your fans a solid and make a video explaining what they are doing. It would be much appreciated. Well, look, Salt Guy, I did it, and I wasted an hour of my life on this crap. So the title of the... Okay, it's an hour-long video. Man solves... let me move this over. Man solves Tesla's secret to amplifying power by nearly 5,000%. There's not a single solitary real experiment in this whole hour video. He has these different motors he's invented, and not one of them does he know how to properly test for its real horsepower output. So he makes no real world comparisons, and he doesn't really even understand what an ammeter is, in the sense that you can't really measure the current in a system. See, because if you do, it's almost like looking at a photon kind of thing. If you try to measure the current in the system, you'll end up just like clogging the system. So the system won't be able to pull the same current because you're trying to regulate the current. So you can't regulate a current you're trying to measure. Alright, so he has these computer boards. This is a good one to show. And then he has these mechanical devices, and it's really just about phased motors. And the idea that if you use a computer, you can maximize the efficiency of the phase push of the field. So the phase goes around, the wavelength is out of phase going around, and that's basically pushes the magnet around. And so if you do that if you optimize that, you can get maybe 3% more efficiency out of the motor. But look at all this stuff, the circuitry it would take to gain that 3 or 4%. So it's a tiny, nothing like 5,000%, tiny percentage. So anyway, all these examples, like I say, he has all these motors, he runs them, he runs lights to demonstrate how, look, I'm pushing more voltage into the thing, and this is the voltage I'm pushing in. And he doesn't understand that ammeters have diodes in them, and they can't measure voltages or currents you push back into the power supply. It can't be measured because there's diodes. And you can't measure an AC current with a DC meter either. So anyway, I mean, you've essentially made it a DC. So he's running a DC current, and then he's pushing the current back into the DC, which is essentially turning it into AC current. So anyway, but the real test would be to you put a load on the motor, and you see if your motor can produce more torque for the same amount of energy. And nowhere in this hour of videos does he have a single motor where he demonstrates this motor has more torque, more horsepower for the same amount of electricity. So it's just complete shit. And it's got 1.5 million fucking views. 1,500,000 views. The guy is dead, and they still have a GoFundMe page up. And it's all kind of made by this, so here's the GoFundMe page. And they got some kind of TFT project, so it's like the freethoughtproject.com. And they're all nutters. It's all truther crap, conspiracy, Trumpers all the way down. But the guy is dead. Well, anyway. And they won't even admit it. They're arguing in the text. He's not dead. He's not dead. I mean, his obituary's written. He's fucking dead. So anyway. This is really nutty. So anyway, Salt Guy, I mean, thanks but no thanks. I'm really not here. I'm proving my theory. I'm really not interested in other whack jobs. And I guess I would be interested if they weren't Tesla kooks. These are all Tesla kooks, for fuck's sake. I mean, can't you assholes ever get Tesla out of your head? So I'm going to remove your comment just because the guy is dead. The GoFundMe page is a fraud. And his science sucks. Alright, I've discovered your channel recently. I have been a skeptic about many things called physics that don't make sense for a long time, but I have found no alternative explanation. I don't know if you're on the right track and will withhold judgment on your theories. Keep up the drafting, and I hope you figure things out. Yeah, well, I've got them pretty close to nailed down, buddy. So I've got it pretty figured. Alright, so here's okay. This is stupid. It does not explain what is happening, nor does the explanation argument, see what video it is. Yeah, it's another one of the Ken Wheeler videos. Fully comprehend what Ken, was accentuating. Well, you can't understand what Ken's talking about. A perturbation in the counter space of, what is it called, clockwise? He has words for all these things. Just this convoluted mush. It's like you misinterpret the experiment. Which one? The ones he doesn't do in any kind of rational way, like his stupid, he puts the gyroscope on the edge of the magnet, and he doesn't show you the gyroscope in any other positions. Just the center and just the tilted edge, but nothing else. and then decide to give your own incorrect view of how it works. Well, I'm not incorrect, and Ken's a douchebag, so fuck you. Alright, I call them quanta as well. Very interesting theories about how electrons throw off light photon packets. I never thought of them. Well, again, this packet thing is just stupid. They're quanta, for fuck's sake, at a frequency. You don't call bullets being shot out of a 9mm, bullet packets. I never thought of them as being electrons, but maybe they are. I do have a working theory for some of this stuff. Well, I don't think electrons aren't easily created or destroyed, so I don't know what the implication is. You may want to check out. I don't know. I'll look. So far, my ideas have helped me predict the shapes of atoms and crystalline structures due to the angles of their electron orbits. Well, I think that's kind of obvious, to tell you the truth. I mean, a lot of that stuff is, you know what I'm saying. If there's 5 electrons, obviously they're going to probably be in a hexagon, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, something like that. I discovered that electrons don't really surround atoms in onion shell-like spheres. I don't know how exactly you did that experiment. But yeah, I don't think they're in shells either. Instead, I think they're two-dimensional. Instead, they form orbital regions. I don't think they do much orbiting, to tell you the truth. They just do vibrating. And the force between them is what's moving. The little photons between them go back and forth, but they don't really move. That look like cones above each proton. Well, whatever. Also, gravity is and isn't faster. Oh, now you're really in trouble. Than the speed of light. Now, gravity is the speed of light. If you allow things to be pulled upon through subspace. What the fuck's a subspace? Shit, I mean, you people, you just... I mean, Einstein should... I mean, there's one thing he should be kicked in the ass for, and that's this whole stupid space-time. Dimensionalizing time was retarded. Then gravity can still go the speed of light. Well, whatever. Gravity goes the speed of light, whether you like it or not. But seems much quicker to us in normal space. How the fuck do you know it seems much quicker? You know how fast 3 million meters per second is, and you can tell when it's only 202,500,000 meters per second, can you? I gotta go, but I'm making a video that explains a lot of this with crudely drawn pictures, but nonetheless, I greatly enjoy watching your video. Have a great day. Well, I will have to take a look at that, and I'm afraid you're in for a bit of a some pain. A year ago, you haven't made a video in a year or so. I guess you fibbed. Yep, it looks like a fib. 1 year ago. I don't see any new videos there, buddy. So disappointing, but we'll let you stay for a while. Alright, some little Patrick turd. Let's see. The ether is prime. Everything is the manifestation of this field of inertia. Well, again, it's just stupid to call it a field of inertia. A dead ether is mathematically unviable. A dead ether means things have to slow down in space, unless you have some explanation. What happens? Why don't the perturbations be consumed by the ether, like they are in every other circumstance? So explain exactly how your ether doesn't how it isn't like every other medium, how it maintains frictionless function via its perturbations and vibrations. This must be another Ken Wheeler nut. These people are just so pathetic. Let's see what video. Yeah, I can't remember which video it was, but it doesn't have Ken's name in it, but who knows. Dielectric, again, the stupid words, and magnetic. Let's see. Attributions of said dimensional factors are radial centripetal convergence of dielectric psi measured with counter space and circular centrifugal divergence of measured with space. So you measure one with space and you measure the other with counter space. Isn't that brilliant? Are the rulers made out of those things? These principles can be used to explain phenomenon to the core of its existence as part of the ether. Well, again, I don't see it. I don't see anything. How do you draw it without it looking like a donkey's ass? I don't think you could diagram your crap without it looking like, maybe a platypus's anus. Now, what the ether is, fundamentally, question mark. Well, that's kind of important, jackass. You're going to say it runs everything in the universe. I guess you probably have to have some theory. Would still be questioned because the plane of inertia isn't sufficient enough for people. Well, yeah, that's not good enough for me. Yeah, that's true. I can always say, why not eat dinner because you don't know it's digested. I don't know what that is. This unified field theory is one of simplicity, thus elegancy. Hey, look at that. It's turning off for some reason. Alright, I don't know what that was about. Why the hell did it do that? Took a picture. There must be some program running. Wouldn't work before, but now it works. I don't know. 41 minutes? That doesn't make sense. I'm happy with one I don't know rather than... Get this stupid crap out of my way. Show less. I'm happy with one I don't know rather than the tenfold left around and never discussed in modern science. Well, whatever, Patrick, you're uselessly silly. Ah, two stupid Puro comments, no doubt stupid. Hey, asshole liar, Huygens died in 1695. Well, when did I say? Show me the quote where I said he died in 1928, or 1956, or even 1842. Show me the quote.